Hi guys, yep, it's me. Yeah, so I want to share a little bit things that I found. I mean, while doing Hundoke, and I found it's like really interesting. So that's why I want to share it out. And yeah, because I also talked with my wife, and yeah, she also found it like really pretty interesting. And yeah, that's why. Tung, some of the true parents would. Yeah. Okay. So few things I want to do clarifications. Yeah. So when in Korea, when they're using the word Muslim instead of Yagi, like because actually for Korean, Muslim itself is just that the elders is speaking. So even they are joking, they are laughing, they're angry, they are sad, they are funny, Muslim because it's the elders. So they're talking Muslim, and to be honest, it just make me a little bit shocked. To be honest, because always in Chinese we just call it the holy word, like 圣言. So we call it the holy word, and the feeling itself is like totally different. Like I know they try to make it like respectful, and but then they make it glorified. And glorify itself like it, like for me, for all church, the first thing we need to recognize that is the true parent is human, and instead of God, it's not a mythical being, it's a human being. So when the translation itself, they make it like God's word, holy word, instead of true parents' word. To be honest, I have a really strong feeling that they are lying. Like I mean, the translator itself is not all nonsense now. Even though they would just say that, oh, I just want to translate the emotional feelings, but actually, even the emotionally, that is incorrect. That is because you try to put yourself into someone who is like a bad guy. Yeah. And maybe you just say, oh, because it's true parents' words. So when true parents speaking, when you listen to it, you'll feel powerful. Actually, you have the ability. If you go to spirituality workshop, I mean the 40-day spirituality workshop, and you always need to do the resonance prayer. And actually, in the last few sessions, like the coordinator will just ask you, like, please record your own prayer. And when you replay your own prayer, you just heard it. You just heard yourself like prayer, and it becomes so pure, and you become so moved. That's when your word become lively, become that is bringing the life towards other people. And just that true parents keep on trying to keeping up the standards onto this kind of standards. So that's why our members will just feel more hope and joy through listening to their words. So in a sense, I just want to say that it's true parents' word. We follow true parents, so that's why, like in our church member sense, yeah, that is something absolute, but it's not God's word. Sorry to say, I don't want to say it's a God's word. It is like really holy word, but this holy word because of true parents setting up the foundation, and true parents are human beings. That's the first point. Yeah. So let's go to the point. So a lot of time our members will just heard our church leader saying that, oh, you as a husband, you need to love your wife as God, and you as wife, you need to love your husband as God, and you as the children, you need to love your parents as God, and you parents need to love your children as God, and you as Cain, you need to love Abel as God, and Abel try to respect Cain. Usually they will just make it like this. But then when I recently just reading on the Chang Song Yong, you can go and check 3.2.3.2. Haha, I got it. And it's a really, really strong one. It's talking about, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. No, it's like 3.2.3.5. Yeah, this part of it. And it's saying, so you need to treat your parents as God, you need to treat your children as God, you need to treat husband need to treat your wife as God representative, and wife treating husband as God representative. And you need to treat everybody else as God representative. And there's last sentence for this. This is not the end, right? There's one more sentence for it. You also need to treat yourself as God's representative. Full stop. So it just makes so much sense when True Mother just say that you all are my direct children. In the past, the leaders don't talk about this. I don't think right now the leaders will also talk about it. But I mean, the last sentence itself, you need to treat yourself as also God's representative. And this is not the new Chang Song Gyong. I mean, this part itself is not. It's just talking about true love. And it already stated this kind of statements. And when you're treating yourself as God, you will treat others also as God, like in a sense. So how you're treating others, you also need to treat yourself good as well. And I think that is somehow been a purpose for the leaders, not to mention. I mean, political state is much more easy to control people in this way. And also, like they don't treat themselves as God, so they just keep on saying that I'm a pitiful guy, I'm just a guy in the past, I'm just a sinner, and blah 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 blah. But actually, God wants to love every one of them, and actually doesn't want you just to be like guilty onto your past. So that's why true parents want, like God want to true parents and say that every one of you are the representative of God. So please love yourself and love everyone else. That's why we say, like, you have the mind and body unity. It's the alignment of the mind and body. It doesn't mean that, oh, my mind wants to move and my body is like dying and you just hit your body. No, that's not only the only way for you to move your body and making yourself mind and body unity is that you try to grow your heart much more larger. That's the way you try to make your mind and body into unity. That's the way. So when you try to grow your heart much more bigger, how you grow it, you unite with God's heart. And you're not with God's heart, it means that you're trying to love or like trying to interact more with the people around you and try to find a common ground between you and other people. And you'll find that kindness itself is the most easiest thing for you to find a common ground. And like, instead of like being like just being used by somebody else. In a sense, you also need to know your boundary, and the boundary itself, it doesn't mean that, oh, I don't love you, but you just say that that's my limitation, sorry. Yeah, that's the point. But a lot of time the leaders trying to just gain more and they just focusing on the results, so that's why they keep on talk and without like finding the truth itself, so they just try to just implant into it and making a big trouble, to be honest, very big trouble. Yeah, and another thing is that when we're talking about the 4 position foundations, not the 4 position foundation, the 4 good rooms of heart. So when we talk about 4 good rooms of heart for the outsider, so we are always talking about the children's heart, then to the siblings' heart, and the couples, the conjugal heart, and also the parental heart. So a lot of time, our church leaders, some of the leaders who don't really study, they don't study outside, they also don't study inside. When I mean outside, is the external knowledge, including psychology, science, biology, and everything. And they don't study inside. They don't even study the hundoke. Like, they don't study what true parent did say and what is the audience, and blah, 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 blah. They didn't study anything about it. And they just make their own conclusion, saying that, okay, yeah, so for the 4 good rooms of heart, the firstly, children will experience the parental heart to them, and they will just return as the children's heart. Like, that's how they start to express their children's heart, and they try to share their children's heart to the siblings, and it's like a spreading. And after that, they spreading, they will have the conjugal heart. The conjugal heart is like only when they have a couple, like when they only have a spouse. Yeah, after that, because of the spouse and they have a family, so that's why they will be having the parental heart. It sounds like an upgrade, but actually, from what I saw, 3.2.3.2, like in that sentence, is that it said that for you to experience the 4 good realms of heart, firstly, you need to experience the conjugal heart. conjugal relationship is the first thing that you need to experience. And only then you can expand to the parental heart, children heart, and also the siblings. And I'm like, that's totally different from what I know. Like, I mean, other people trying to explain about true parents' worth. And to be honest, a lot of time, even though we are called ourselves a unification church, but to be honest, I think because we are lack of the leadership to be going through the theological studies, theological understandings and research, and just making our church into something really chaotic academically, theoretically, and theologically. Like just really like a chaos up until right now. Yeah. So when you have the conjugal heart, okay, back to it. And when we have a conjugal heart, because of the conjugal relationship, finally, like in my own understanding, right? So usually when you have a couple, the couple it won't be like two same person. It's not ideal. Two same person itself, you don't have attraction between each other. You don't have the compatibility ability to help each other to do like what each other not really get used to. Maybe like if they have the same ability and like the same characteristic, they would just feel like it's safe. They're just same type of person, so we have like the same type of logic, same type of like a fallen figure, fallen nature. But it's not something helping you. So always True Father, when you're trying to matching other couple together, True Father tries to match it compatible. So in a compatible relationship, in my understanding of MBTI is not something like a universal, okay, but it's something like you can know about how your logic gate run, in a sense, in your mind, how it runs. For me, my explanation to you is that in total, humans have 8 chips, but you cannot have all the 8. You can only have 4 and 4. The 4 chips into one set and another four chips into another set, and that's how they do. And inside that, there's a lot of system, there's a lot of logics, a lot of rules they need to follow, and just form a personality of total of 16. And in this 16, like with the compatible pair, you will have at least making the 4 of them into unity, totally unity. And if you want to challenge yourself, yeah, I mean challenge yourself, and you will just try to go with the eight chips, the computer chips, putting all together. And because of all these kind of things and making your heart to be rounded, and because of this rounded heart, you have each other's perspective. And because of this kind of perspective and making you just know, oh, what I need to do right now, what is others' hearts thinking right now, and what I can do right now. And through this, you will be much more embracing, and you know how to love others, and to the upper, to someone below, and someone surrounding you. So that's why conjugal love itself is becoming so precious, because it is the love that you cannot share, but at the same time giving you so much power to go through everything around you. There's something like a really fascinating. But then a lot of time our church leader didn't understand it. We just keep on saying that, going back to the children's love, going back to the children's love. But actually, if we're just only focusing on the children's love, when you just keep on pouring all the love to the children, a lot of time you're just making them spoiled. And because why they spoiled? Because they just think that, yeah, I always have a support system whenever I go, and this support system itself will just unconditionally supporting me anything. In the art of loving, this is only one-sided, mother's love and no father's love inside, and it will be a big problem. Interesting, right? Like even outside people already keep on saying it, and our church leaders didn't aware of this and change the true parents narrative and making it into something new. Yeah, and when they show you the true parents, what they only show the part they want to quote, and not everything they suppose need to quote it. Yeah. So that's why I always think that is a big problem about it. So yeah, that's the two part of the true parents word I want to share about today. Yeah, 인천 성적. Da-da-da. Yeah. Hope you all can, yeah, just enjoy. And if you want to support me, tell me. I mean, I'm still preparing for my dressing, but yeah. See you all in my next video. And remember to put a like and subscribe it and put a notification. Leave a comment. Yeah. And see you. Peace.